line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Day turns to dark as the lights come on live here at Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. And today we're going to see what happens when the Super Late Model Series of Bitstar Racing Series are put to their test and put to their limits here on the show. Hello everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Shriver. Join you guys here once again here onto the show as we get prepared for the action at hand here today. The drivers of the Bitstar Racing Series preparing up and currently under huge scruvious practice right now, trying to get these cars dialed in and figured out for what could best be described as a hard-throwing, hard-charged battle for supremacy in terms of field and scope, with nobody safe from the madness and the craziness that lays ahead of them. And before we get into that here, of course, it's time to take it down to listen here with our drivers. We'll start off here with one of our main priorities here, the guys that usually see up on the top spots here. He pilots the 03. It is Mr. Cody Griffin. Cody, you got a copy down there, sir?
Yep, how's it going?
Going pretty good down here, buddy. Right now, we're looking at you in the practice set leading into the qualifying top 6 right now in terms of practice in the fast department. How does the car feel really with this kind of a big layout of a track?
Yeah, it's a little free. I haven't ran too many laps, but the few I did, it's a little free, which I'm not complaining about. That's kind of my driving style. So we'll see how it races. I don't know. I feel like tire conservation here probably be pretty big. So it just kind of ride for the first little bit and then race the last 20 or 30 laps.
Why would the tire conservation be a bit of a dilemma here today for you and this crew in these Super Late models?
This track's just really abrasive. It's wore out. It's old, which is, again, I mean, that makes for good racing, especially in these cars at a track like this, low power, low grip. But it's just old, wore out racetrack, kind of like Atlanta was before they repaved it. So.
For sure there. All right. Well, we do appreciate our time here down there, Cody. Best of luck to you and the crew today.
Thank y'all.
Cody Griffin giving you guys a little insight, little ideas on how this one can play out for them and prey onto the track. One of those guys that knows the thing or two about Warren tore out tracks.
That's good.
Is putting on the speeds here. It'd be the number 84, Len McNeese on the Western Auto 84.
How you doing this evening?
Oh, we're doing all right today, Len. How about you today, sir?
Oh, trying to figure out what button to push here to talk to you on.
We got to get you figured out on that, man. You got to have some idea at this point, like what button is supposed to be pushed to talk to us.
I know what I shouldn't I?
Well, nevertheless, Len, today here, right now, performing here at Chicagoland Speedway here, and I got to ask you, sir, you know, you've had one win already this season, but do you feel like Chicagoland could be another one you could mark off on the list and the calendar, you think?
Shoot, I don't know. It's just going to be a roll of the dice there. I like this track, but I really don't ever have any luck at it.
Why is that in this case?
Usually the wrong place at the wrong time when somebody wrecks.
Fair point. All right. Well, Len, I guess the last thing I really ask you is we heard earlier on from some drivers about the tire wear being a bit of a factor here. What's your kind of thoughts on how the car can handle on that level?
It looks like what practice I've had on it. The right front's going, it's going to have a lot of tire wear. You have to be careful with it, but I think it was going to be pretty good in the long run for this way the setup feels.
For sure there. All right. Well, Len, we really appreciate your time here today, sir. Best of luck to you and the crew.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
The number 84, Len McGee, ladies and gentlemen. Time to listen in to one of the other drivers here, the lone female of the group, Chantel Throttle Puddle, back on board here. And Chantel, Chicagoland Speedway in recent history has usually been a pretty good track to you in terms of the NASCAR Trucks Xfinity and Cup Series you've ran here, but having to drive a Superlane model, what's the big difference for you in this crew here? Chantel, you got a copy down there? It doesn't look like she's got a copy down there, so it looks like we're just going to have to let her be for now. I think she's currently just trying to figure stuff out, maybe get the car ready to go. Speaking of getting the car ready to go, let's listen to down here one of the guys driving the Big 6 Viagra machine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Eric Blount.
Copy.
Copy, sir. Great to hear from you again here. And Eric, last time we saw you out here, really this entire season, we've seen you battling hard and really commending to the top 5 and possibly looking at getting into the winner's circle, but haven't really been able to kind of dial in and buckle it in yet. What is it going to take today at Chicagoland, you think?
I honestly don't know. Bringing good pieces to the track every week. Just something happens, or you just misread something in the later runs, pitch strategy, something goes wrong. Last time we got caught up in a last lap wreck, and things just keep happening. We just gotta stay out of trouble.
You were saying trouble-wise, does that mean you're going to try to maybe kind of lay low for the first couple of ends of the race, or do you think maybe you're just going to try to push your luck a little bit and then lay off then?
Honestly, I've tried both, and it's a toss-up. So tonight we're just gonna see where we fall and let the race play out.
For sure there. Well, we can tell the determination in your eyes right now. You're as focused as you can be to try to pull this one off. So we appreciate your time and best of luck to you and the crew.
Thank you, buddy. You too.
Absolutely. Eric Blount, ladies and gentlemen, driving the number 6 today. He'll be a guy to keep an eye on in this one. Speaking of a guy to keep an eye on here, a guy that we always love to keep an eye on, the number 24, Tim Lee, now back on the call here. And Tim, this is a little mile and a half and the closest we can get to a circular track in this case here. We know these cars are going to be turning in quite a bit, but for you, what is going to be the biggest issue you're going to be dilemmaing here at Chicagoland?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I've turned about 3 laps, just got off an airplane, so we'll see. I don't know. The setup's really good. The laps that I did turn, it feels pretty good, so we're about to find out.
Well, I'll ask you this then, kind of outside of racing, did the vacation kind of help clear your mind and kind of get you a little bit more wound up to really bring you at it on these guys today?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired, man, but I was looking forward to this race all night. So I always look forward to my Thursdays because it's the only really time I have to race. So it's always fun to me.
Well, hopefully a clearer head and a little bit more energy coming later on will help you bring this one to life here in the 24. Best of luck to you and the crew today. Tim Lee preparing to go out of here. Race fans, we'll get him squared away as they bring the drivers back out on the track, having a little bit of fun running them through real quick. Kind of listening to one of our other guys down there as Jeff Clifton now joins us onto the call here. Jeff, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Right now, currently in the scope of the 3rd position right now for the fastest in practice. But with the way times are going to be and the way this position is going to go rolling out, how much do you think that really is aero dependent on that draft and on the controls here?
All the times on the board are highly dependent on the draft, so you really can't look at that and make it engage, who's the fastest so far. But I'm not really sure where we are as far as single car speed goes, but we'll figure it out. I'm probably going to elect to start towards the rear of the field since it's a 100-lap race. Just try to feel it out and keep the car clean and hopefully be here at the end.
Be there at the end, and with a who's who of drivers trying to take down the tracks number 1. I'll ask you this too. I mean, if you've had some bad breaks this season and had some good breaks this season. Do you think Chicagoland's going to be a bit of a better track for that, or do you think it's going to be a little bit harder to control the narrative there?
All these races, they typically go about the same way. Everybody's got really similar setup, and you know, most of the races are flat out, and it's just about who keep their car the cleanest and who can manage their tire the best. So we'll see what happens.
Well, let's see what happens indeed. Clifton, thank you for your time down there, sir.
No problem.
Jeff Clifton, ladies and gentlemen, on the line there, giving you guys a little word in on 2. We'll take a listen now as well as some other guys here. We talked to one Tim, we'll talk to the other Tim. It's the 45 BK Paints machine. It is Tim Williams now on the line.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing pretty good, Tim. Looks like you, other than Lynn McMeese, have figured out the button to push to talk with us here, so it's good to hear from you again, sir.
I had it prepared just in case. I've learned I've got to keep Discord up on the screen as well. Otherwise, I don't. I can push button all I want and nothing's gonna happen.
Well, Tim, at least you got that all figured out, buddy. And it seems like right now, too, it looks like getting kind of an ideal or a rough sketch of how to really run it down here on the track of Chicagoland. We know that obviously this is more of a circular track than compared to the other mile and a half or mile longs you've ran, but for you and this crew, where does the line seem to be the best fit for this super late model car?
You know, I'm kind of going halfway between the center and the top. It's the bottom seems to be about the quickest, but you get a lot of speed coming off the top at the top. Yeah.
Seems to be the case here. With the top being the fastest, though, does that kind of wear into the tire more on the right front? 'Cause we've heard that too, been a big issue.
Well, I did some at the bottom and then some in the middle and the top, and it seems the top does wear them a little bit more, but I don't know if you can get the speed up and come out and get ahead of everybody. I think you're going to do all right.
All right, man. Well, nevertheless, though, really appreciate you coming on board here. Thank you for your time today, Tim.
Thanks a lot, Chris. We'll talk to you later.
We will talk to you later indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Williams, number 45. He seems to have a lot of an idea of what he's going to go up against, what he's going to bring to the table. We talked to the teammate of Blount later on, so we're going to talk with him now, I should say. Gordon Larson Jr. the Double O is now on the line.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys, man? Right now, Gordon, obviously you and the crew here looking to try to bolster down and really make a move here on this track today. I got to ask you, what is going through your mind here on this track?
Just hope it stays green. You know, got a really good car. Car feels great on the bottom. Everything's rolling real good. So, you know, just hoping for some green flag racing tonight.
Green flag racing, some absolute speed and endurance is here. Now Larson as well. We saw you previously here plenty of times coming so close to victory lane, having that chance, having an opportunity to take it home, but haven't been able to seal today. Do you think Chicagoland that'll finally change for you?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I've really come to like this place.
Well, we'll see if it likes you back today as it gets ready to frill down into the race. Best of luck down there, Larson.
Thank you, guys.
Gordon Larson Jr., ladies and gentlemen, on the line there, getting ready to get at it here as the field continues to march their way to the chains here. We got a new driver in the house here. Let's listen in with him here now. I believe Steve Rada is now on the track here and on the call. Steve, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, is that Rada or is it Rada? I've got to make sure I
Rada.
get the Rada. All right, I want to make sure we got that right before we made any too many mistakes here on you guys.
That's all right.
All right, so Mr. Rada, great to have you on the show, and our first time really seeing you here, sir. How much super late model experience and all that do you really got with these kind of cars?
Not that much. Last time I ran within this league, I kind of finished second. Well, finished actually second. Kind of messed up when this league was at Atlanta.
Out of Atlanta there, and now coming here to Chicagoland. Definitely a bit of a trip here from the bottom half of the South up here in the Midwest. Did the weather change and all that kind of affect you? Really kind of hit home on these cars today, you think?
Nah, not really.
No, not really. Go ahead.
It's gonna make it quite interesting to see how tonight's gonna be.
All right, for sure there. Well, nevertheless, Steve, we really appreciate you coming on board. Best wishes and luck to you and the crew today.
All right, thank you.
Steve Rada, ladies and gentlemen, on the line here as he prepares up for his race and his action ahead. Still got a lot of guys right now trying to get things dialed in, toned up, and ready to go. A who's who of drivers right now preparing for what could be best as an absolute chaotic race, to say the least. We do have another driver on the line. I'm trying to make sure I got the name right. Is this Mikey Campbell here?
It is.
It is. All right. Hey, Mike. Great to see you again. Great to hear from you. And once again, another new little scheme on that 292. What do we got going on with that thing today, buddy?
Oh, it's just a throwback thing.
A little throwback paint, kind of get the Pirates booties, you would always say?
I 10-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, us pirates gotta get what we can when we can, you know what I mean?
We certainly do indeed. All right. Well, Mike, really appreciate coming on back. Hi, everybody. Great to hear from you and see you on the track, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Michael E. Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. And the big 292 machine. We'll have to see how he performs and how he does on the track as we're about ready to enter into the qualifying sector here. All drivers have been talked to and listened to on the rules and briefing. So before we get to the action, let's take a look at your track tech talk presented by the Pit Stall Racing Series and Fort Worth Screen Printing. What we're looking at today, as I just mentioned earlier on, pretty much the closest we're ever going to see to a full-on circular track. The closest we've ever seen on the real world stage and in real life has been Langhorne Speedway and Oxford Plains Speedway. That is the closest we've ever been able to come to a full-on circle. But with this track configuration, there's one thing that dilemmas up more than anything. You're barely ever staying straight in the corners or staying straight on the track. You can see this is a rounded out edge track, 1.5 miles in length. Very tough to really complete and tame. But what that does is, because it's designed more kind of in a bull ring configuration, it forces the drivers to actually stay in the throttle more. They have to actually keep up the speed, keep up the gas. And we know with these super late miles added on there, that makes it for an even more challenging dilemma that only the best can figure out in pressure point situations. There is so much on the line, and we're about to see it go down here and now. Well, from the night skies into the daytime, race fans, we are now ready to get at it. Steven Racing coming on board here. Thanks for coming on down today, sir. Field will work their way off around pit road as we're going to field them down out. Our first lineups here will be Jeff Clifton, Chase Rife, Gordon Larson Jr., Daniel Holloway, Eric Blount, Tim Lee, and Blake Trawick. If you guys are new to the show as well here and haven't not been here with us before, be sure to share this one around. Let your friends, let your family know BTM Race TV is live here on the show. The first laps now being put up for grabs here. The drivers will make their way around the chains and around the track. Tim Lee, 24 driver in the Pit Stall Racing Series car. He came off a plane not too long ago here today. Literally just trying to set a bar and set a time. With pretty much little to no practice. We'll have to see how he does here as he rips it off of turn number 3 and turn number 4. Staying towards more the middle, trying to cut down the track and maybe shorten it out just a bit. His time sets at a 32.45. Not quite enough to knock down Daniel Holloway and the Kisses 26. He sets the fastest so far at 32.11. DJ Mitchell in the 61 Valvoline machine brings the Grand Prix Pontiac schemed up into a 32.18. Not quite fast enough. Nevertheless, a solid time there for him and the team and the crew there. 32.10 now, the mark to beat here. Daniel Holloway, that's the fastest time. Blake Trawick, I'm going to go with Blake Trawick here, is going to go with 32.20. That will be his time to beat. Steve Rada, his second time around the show apparently, also his first time, but his first time I'm ever seeing him. So 32.44 in the 11th spot. That'll put him somewhere in the back of the pack. Michael A. Gable's final time is a 32.17, so he'll move it into the top 5 now. Solid effort there from that driver. Time now to looking at our other drivers here. Tim Williams in the 45 coming out. So is the 85 of Lee Norton. Now again, the drivers that come out later, in my opinion, have a bit of an advantage. They get a little bit of rubber laid down on the track. They don't have to worry about the speeds getting cooked up there from the burnt out ends of the track. The biggest thing we always talk about is if you've got a little bit of that black tarmac and that black rubber laid down, you actually gain more speed. However, the car can be a little bit more tricky to kind of handle and miss and match with. Todd Post and Corey Coe learned that the hard way, 32.56 and 35 respectively for them. Except for Poston, he posts up a number 32.13. You got a second place now embarked with the number 31. Poston is looking to hang in there. Corey Coe, much the same, 32.19 for his lap. Tim Williams kind of dropped up in the middle there, starting 7th for the BK Paints 45. He'll go 7th spot up for now. We'll have to see if that time holds up. As the 85 of Lee Norton now brings it onto the track. You might have actually saw him there going through the grass just a little bit. He was actually, I think, just trying to get the car to cool down on the tires a little bit. Not sure how the officials and the judges will rule that. That is kind of an iRacing move. I don't know if that's technically legal, but we'll just go with it for now. It's time. Oh, he just throws the hard one at all of them. 32.06. Lee Norton is your number 1 seed now. Now on the tracks here, defending champion Derek Paulson and the MF Racing Designs, and the number 5 is Chantel Throttlepottle. Watch Dalton's final lap, went 32.55. His time, 32.15. He'll move it into the top 5. The Rubber Bottom Raceway, Lightning Wrapz number 5 now coming around for her final leg up. Chantel Pottle's time goes from 32.25 to 32.20. Puts her in the mid-pack. Top 10 for the Throttlepottle. Interesting qualifying times here from the drivers as the field gets kind of straightened away and set up on this one. Steve Racing saying, don't forget to update training paint showing the 056 in the wrong paint scheme. For the record, that's not on us in this case. I can show you right now, I can update it all I want. But if they don't have the right paint scheme, they don't have the right paint scheme, guys. We can only show what they brought to us. I've updated it already as soon as I came into the show. Todd Poston, number 31 here, just kind of going to park it down, turn number 1 and 2. Field is currently at a standstill. Those that have not qualified yet include the number 47 of Ray Radford, the 03 of Cody Griffin, the 13 Douglas R. Johnson, and the 77 of Michael Pratt. They have not qualified just yet. Definitely a bit of a who's who in terms of drivers, in terms of scope here. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out here. With only about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Again, drivers currently seeing if they can really push their limits and push themselves in towards the top half, top brackets here. A lot of drivers know what's at stake. So with 3 minutes in qualifying left here, field looks like they'll pretty much kind of pinpoint it right at where they want and end it there. So very interested to see here at Chicagoland Speedway just who can gain the traction and the advantage here. I think if anything though, with that sun now faded up and the track actually cleaning itself up a little bit, I think that Night Skies may have actually let them wear down just a bit more, thinking they had a little bit more speed to work with. But now without it, I'm not so sure that could be a very big advantage for them. Now 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock again here while I do as Steven had asked, and I showed him that our training paints had updated. Currently the field in a bit of a bind, a bit of a twist here. They're trying to see what they can bring to the table, also trying to focus in and really, in my opinion, on what they're going to have to deal with the most, which is going to be, without a doubt, the control and consistency of the cars. Two minutes left here, so really at this point, if anyone else was going to throw a qualifying lap down, they would have had done it now. This is not going to be the case for them. It looks like they're going to just kind of let them get squared away. Currently, I believe drivers meeting up for grabs on the way here. Field going to get prepared and set to go. Last time we were here, we had saw the rattlesnake come out here and really put on another great performance in the Kentucky Speedway, taking home the Turkey Trot 150 there. And what was one of our longest races we've ever had. And it looks like I gotta take it back a little bit. It looks like Troy Radford is gonna mark it down on the track here. So it looks like he's gonna hurry it out for one qualifying run in the 94. Kind of snuck out of nowhere here, and his times are gonna reflect that. Fastest time is going to be a 32.25. His first time was a 32.25, so he ties his bracket. I think at this point is really the last bit is just going to be more for practice to see what he can do here. For the record, we are going more into the morning end of the sunlight here at the track. Going to really bring the hot sun and hot skies back out, and the more this track changes, the more it becomes a difficult ride to really figure out into temperamental with. I think we're going to see a lot of guys well aware of that and understanding of it. But only the best will be able to coincide and key up with it. So Ray Radford, Cody Griffin, Douglas R. Johnson, Michael Pratt did not qualify. So we have a 22 car field today. Very big set of field drivers and a very big scope of guys ready to bring it down to the track here. This should be an interesting one. Race fans, about that time again, so without further ado, let's head it down to our little intro. It's time for the Pit Stall Racing Series to begin their lineup. Time for the Pit Stall Racing Series. And without further ado, race fans, presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing, Lighting, Wrapz, your grading order is now set to go. On the pole, the number 85, it'll be Lee Norton. To the outside of them, the number 26, it'll be Daniel Holloway. In row number 2, it'll be the 31 of Todd Poston. On the outside of them, in the 17, it is Derek Paulson. Row number 3 is going to be the 056 of Blake Trawick. And the outside of them, and then 292 is Michael E. Campbell. Row number 4 is DJ Mitchell in the 61. And the outside of them, in the big 20, it is Corey Coe. Row number 5 is the 45 of Tim Williams. And the outside of them, in the 5, the throttle, Chantel Bottle. And row number 6, we're going to see the 54 Chase Wright. The outside of them, in the 6, it is Eric Blount. Row number 7 is Jeff Clifton. And the number 1, the outside of them, in the 00, it is going to be Gordon Larson Jr. And row number 8 is going to be the 94 of Troy Radford. The outside of them, in the 8, Steve Rada. Row number 9 is going to be the 24 of Tim Lee. The outside of them, and the 84 is going to be Len McNeese. And finally, the final 2 rows. Row 10, Cody Griffin, the 03. With the outside of them, and the 77, Michael Pratt. The row 11 caps off with the 13 of Douglas R. Johnson. And the 47 of Ray Radford. The field is now prepared and set for action ahead. We bring the drivers to life. We bring the field to its stage. This is truly going to be a drive to survive for these drivers here, and everybody is well aware of that. And again, Steven Racing, I swear, I did reset the training panes, so Whatever scheme they had when they came into the lobby when I was in, that is what they had set on the car. So not really much else I can do there. What a grudge match this is going to be. Many drivers this season coming away to taste victory. Some newcomers, some old favorites. They've been able to pull this one off now for the first time in quite some time. A 22 car field after a huge field last time out in the Turkey Trot 150. Brings us another solid lineup and a big field here. Off the distance though, into corner number 4, pace car, N6 off the track, stage left, set the field, to stage it right, off the front straightaway, we're going racing. The Pit Stall Racing Series begins at Chicagoland. 100 laps to the distance. This will be a bind-out, shootout fight. Pit strategy is going to be very key and intricate and extremely integral to what they're about to do. Michael A. Campbell, though, a little bit of problems out of the gate. The 292 slamming the outside wall through corner number 2 on the back straightaway. Gonna have to lay off for a minute. Caution is out already. There's problems down there. Looks like Michael Pratt in the 77 caught up in there. Not completely sure where and when the caution needed to be driven out. Couldn't quite see back there what went wrong. Taking a look at it as the Fort Worth screen printing at VTM Instant Replay. Slight tap there, and that might explain a lot. I didn't even see the 77 go around that quickly. Looked like he just got toe tapped there, and the 13 tried to avoid him, but couldn't quite get out of the way in time. Douglas R. Johnson there, unfortunately, bringing out our first caution of the day here. Let's take a look at the replay. See a back half there, go 3 wide down into the distance here. Here comes the corner off for the 13. Dives it down low, drifts up slightly though, and just that little tap on the 77 catches him. The good news is for him is that the 77 didn't really suffer too much damage in that initial hit, so I think Michael Prowl will be okay to return to action with little to no troubles, although I guarantee you he'll be going into pit road right now to fix up some damage, maybe get some fuel under the car. That will take you a long way here in these races, I'll tell you that much right now. These mile-and-a-half races especially, man, this is a absolute fuel strategy embankment and a hard little track to figure out in terms of scope, in terms of liability. Really have to watch out for giving too many options, giving too many chances here, and they are well aware of that. Field gonna double file back in now onto the straights here. Daniel Holloway in the 26 and the 85 of Lee Norton watching carefully on each other's ends who will outdo the other. Lee Norton not quite able to get ahead of Daniel Holloway on the initial start of the race. Though could be just kind of laying off for now, trying to avoid trouble for later. It's hard to get a grasp on the track here when really you got a lot of guys trying to pinpoint the shots and trying to hit their marks when they can. A lot of drivers always paying close attention So the differences in speed, differences in control. As we reel them down off of turn number 4 this time on by. Back to the green flag. Let's go. Solid jump out of the gate for Daniel Holloway. Lee Norton staying up topside here. I presumed earlier on we were going to see drivers kind of sticking toward the bottom of the track. Oh, and then some maybe going for a little bit of a ride there on the back half. Oh, trouble for the number 20 as the fabulous Hudson Hornet schemed up machine takes a little bit of a ride down there in turn number 2. Corey Coe goes for a ride there, unfortunately. Couldn't quite get out of that mess when he needed to most. Drifts up slightly at the 5, Chantel throttle pottle. As he does that, the 1 comes up right behind him. The number 1 of Jeff Clifton just barely catching him off guard there, and really there was nowhere to go for that 20. I think the 5 was expecting more of the 20 to kind of raise up on her there. Not the other way around. Clifton comes up and toe tap. Goodbye. Coe definitely cannot be a happy camper here. I don't think anybody's got to be a happy camper knowing they're trying to race this one out. And instead it's becoming very difficult to time the moves and time the marks. But again, that is what you do in terms of scope in these kind of races. You have to watch out for drivers getting just a bit egregious out of the gate. Drivers heading to pit road right now. Currently, a good majority of this field, I believe, right now, looking at the way of the law right now. Maybe looking at the fuel mileage here, and they're going to go in quickly. No stages here in these races. By the way, it is done all through the green. That could make for a quite interesting dynamic dilemma here, giving drivers a little bit more breathing room, a little bit more options here to kind of work around and really to deal with. Pressure, though, in my opinion, will always be kind of centered around who can control what and who can control when in terms of the length of the race and their own strategies. And the pace car's lights turn right off, which means it is about time to return to the green flag race in action. The number 8 of Steve Rada gonna now be pretty much right where he said he centered off there in his first stint with the Pit Stall Racing Series. But Derek Paulson this season, in my opinion, not living up to the championship caliber he did last season when he ran his truck into the ground and around town. He told me earlier today, my focus has always been to try to be the best, try to stay controlled and conservative when I got here to race, and I try to put up the best numbers possible. Well, right now, currently, this season has not been my best season, so it's time to really start changing that. He doesn't go into pit row when everyone else does, so that tells me the number 17's got a plan here. To see if everybody's learned their lesson just a little bit. Maybe if they figured out they can't get too egregious here. They're instrumental and intricate to really making this race a big part of what we're going to see today. So it's time to start dialing in and buckling down. Here we go to the Fort Worth screen printing restart zone. Off the charge, ready to go to the outside immediately as they fire him off into the distance. And despite Corey Coe ended up in the grassy plains, he actually ends up ahead of the field by a good margin of error there. Derek Paulson is your race leader as the field comes down off the back straightaway. They are deadlocked now until that happens. DJ Mitchell is in the grass right now, and I think that was Tim Williams back there in the 45 caught up in the wreck. Another caution, Brute. Oh, no, wait, no caution. Tim Williams and DJ Mitchell, I think they're trying to get they're trying to let the officials know where was the caution. They remain green. They're going to let him go. And Williams right now, Mitchell cannot be happy. Camper is involved in that big wreck there. We'll take another look at it. Still no word on a caution flag. Nothing there yet. One last look as they kind of came around the corner. Tim Williams slamming into the wall. Gets into the 61. And you can see Mitchell, he goes for a wild ride in the grass. We saw that part. But Williams actually gets collected into the wall and the retainer barrier down there. The safer barriers, though, doing a great job keeping them at least from getting too hurt or damaged up in the cars themselves. So they'll stay green. And Derek Wilson, right now anyway, your race leader, but Daniel Holloway has already got right back up to him. He had to work his way from the field to get up to the 17, but again, with a little bit more fuel, a little bit more strategy, Paulson's a bit of a disadvantage here. He needs to really be careful where this one goes. 12 laps in out of 100 laps so far. Chaos and pandemonium ensuing. Up top side, goes for the 17. Olsen takes it for a drive. The double low, Gordon Larson Jr. trying to move it around to the bottom half. As a 26, so Daniel Holloway works his way into the Kisses Hershey machine, has now taken the lead over. We have a new leader. Gordon Larson Jr. watching carefully on that number 8 of Steve Rada. Rada is currently trying to force the NASCAR.com Superstore 00 into a position he does not want to be in. I would say be able to do a little bit of a bump trap, a little bit of pack tack there on these guys, but the problem is you really have nowhere to do any of that bump drafting on this track. If at all, you really should be kind of avoiding it as much as humanly possible the way this is going to race out. Todd Boson, after winning the very first race this season in Iowa Speedway, yet to been able to really bring another one home. And I think this entire season we have not had 2 race winners in the same name. Literally, what that means is we haven't had somebody take home 2 wins in the season. Everybody this season so far has either been a first timer of the season or they have actually been the only win for their race. I think it's one thing that's kind of exciting to know. It's kind of exciting to see Daniel Holloway looking to kind of change that here in that 26. Meanwhile, back in the pack here, got a little bit of movement coming from the 94 and the 56 here. Troy Radford and Blake Traywick right now doing a great job kind of dictating the pace here with the draft, kind of dictating the pace of that pack ahead of them. Not getting too aggressive and not getting too egregious. Looks like they're trying to really both buckle down more on the speed and in the endurance level of it. And of course in that middle you got, well, the 03, Cody Griffin. Cody just, honestly in my opinion, I've kind of come to this realization, I think he just does not care. He just goes out here and he puts up a number and throws his car straight into the ground if he absolutely have to. Nearly 3 wide off, and the speed and the endurance just showing its level out immediately as Lee Norton opens the door up for the 03. Eduardo Santelpano having to kind of maneuver around him there as they get it right onto the front bumpers to the back bumpers of that 85, and Corey Coe trapped on top. Pano kind of stuck down the bottom lane trying to avoid the 20 though. They get back to what happened between those two and the number 1 of Jeff Clifton. She knows where she's at, knows what's going on. She's just trying to stay in control of her own destiny in her mind. Well, Eric Blount right now, I'm almost half sure he is driving a controller right now. I'm almost for sure on that one. But hey, if it suits his style, suits his way, and that's what he can go for, that's what you use. You didn't always have to use you don't always have to use a steering wheel and pedal set in night racing. It's just it's very, very much recommended. Chase Wright, the 54 right now, currently kind of the lone star of the field, while everybody 14th off back, way behind in the field. Chase Wright really kind of staying in control of his own little rounds here, his own little speed. But I think at this point he's just kind of trying to stay out of trouble, let everyone else up ahead kind of mess themselves up. Gordon Larson Jr. has moved into the second spot, by the way. He's your second place Hard Charger Award winner. 12 spots up, but 15 for Cody Griffin. The 03 of Cody Griffin coming right back through the field in the 17 of Derek Paulson, throwing some blocks, throwing some charges. Again, everyone's trying to stay in that draft line. Closest thing really you can compare this kind of racing to is, again, that 550 horsepower package you would have seen the Gen 6 Cup cars in a long time ago. My humble opinion, I still was not a fan of that setup and that kind of style. I always thought that was probably the worst thing they could do, and I'm glad that when they rent the next gen / the Gen 7s out, at least they went with a 670 horsepower package. Speaking of more speed and more grip, leaning him down towards the bottom lane, the 03 Cody Griffin makes a great charge off. And from the outhouse, scooped into the White House, we have a new leader. He went from 19th to 1st. Cody Griffin is your new leader. And it looks like he doesn't have any time to slow down either. It looks like he's going to try to make more pressure known and felt on here. Gordon Larson Jr., though, man, if there's one guy that wants to taste victory so badly, he feels like he needs it, it is definitely that 00. Larson Jr. has come so close to winning it out. Eric Blount, much of the same, but really with the fact he's got teammates in that number 6, that really does kind of help out the case, a little bit of the cause. Nearly putting the fenders together, though. Here comes the 00, Larson Jr. He smells blood in the water like a shark in the ocean, and he's going for the bottom lane. They're 3 deep, looking for the lead. Not any room to go there. They are still 3 deep. Griffin with a slight advantage over the 00, going nose to tail, side by side with the 26 of Daniel Holloway, and it allows the 31 and Todd Poston now to start clambering quicker through the field. Problems down there for the number 17, Derek Paulson, entering into pit road. He's going to try to hopefully get that fixed as soon as he can. Lost a lot of time in there. He knows he can't be making mistakes like that, and he knew fuel mileage was going to really kind of hurt him more than anything. Gordon Larson Jr. scrapes it on the apron, but he's going to pit road. He'll go there first. His teammate will stay on out. Holloway able to maneuver around Griffin yet again. Remember Griffin, he said earlier on, this track suits his style. This is the way he likes to race. What he meant by that was he was talking about the rough wear and tear of this old laid down grounds, this old laid down track. Because it is an older facility and because the ground of the pavement is a little bit more roughed up, it actually creates a looser surface. The looser the surface, the harder it is to control the car. But for some drivers, that's a good thing because it really allows them to pinpoint and showcase their talent and their accuracy. Some I would even include in there would be the likes of that throttle Chantel Bottle. We talk about her, I know, quite a bit on the show, but the thing is, when you got a long run race and a long run ideals, her strategy's always been pinpoint accurate. Let everybody else fade off. She'll come and take it in later. Speaking of taking it in later, Todd Poston can't quite get out of the mess there. He gets spun in there at the entry of pit road. And the 31 now with problems down there as he gets clipped up. I believe that was by the 85 there. We'll take a look at the replay. It was. He gets into a little bit of Cody Griffin. You can see he just barely smacks the wall. Don't think he suffered any front end. I take that back. He did suffer a little front end damage there. Slight damage on the 31. He'll have to see if that comes back to haunt him. Field is currently in a bind, trying to get out of pit road quickly here. Blake Trawick, Len McNeese, the ones that did not go in with the rest of the field. But as the field comes out, Cody Griffin has got the early advantage. Daniel Holloway already trying to gain up on him. Field marching around Blake Trawick, trying to get out of pit real quickly, kind of forcing everybody to kind of stay right in line there in the 56. The Ford Mustang driver coming through quick, coming up fast. He's trying to get around Lee Norton as fast as possible here, but he's not going to catch him here. Todd Poston getting right back up into the head of the field. Steve Rada and them also getting through. Chantel Throttle looks like she might have had some problems coming out of pit road there, costing her precious time. Let's take a look at our best lap times right now. Currently here, the best here, without a doubt, is going to be in that top half. There are only 2 drivers that have laid down a 31-second lap. That was Daniel Holloway with a 96, and Cody Griffin, who is your leader, with a 98. And I have to clarify and stretch that out of the bargain here because Chase Rife, or excuse me, Eric Blount, has laid down another 31, a 31.98 for the number 6 driver as he currently looks on from behind. Oh, speaking of Chase Rife, nice save coming off to turn 2. That 54 should have been long gone, but yet somehow he saved that thing from doom and glory. That was an impressive save there, but man, oh man, did that one get a bit wild. Hanged on to it there. I don't know how he was able to do it, but he certainly will be happy to know that at least keeps him somewhat in the race. But the downside of that is he lost a lot of time just by saving the car from that angle. We'll go back and take a look at the P2 Mr. replay and see like where exactly that got him loose at. JF Electric, Red Bull 54 comes off. Turn 1. Look at that. He got it loose from the apron. Nice save, though. The rear end kicking out slightly underneath him. And yet was able to calmly and cautiously return it back to the lane it was needing to be in. Field starting to separate out here on lap number 32 out of 100 here. Cody Griffin currently still your race leader. Daniel Holloway trying to catch up there with him. And again, we're going to see this a lot where pit strategies really force and bundle up these drivers in some tight spots and some tough ordeals. We've talked about it before, and that is when you get a long run setup and a long run drive on their level and on their playing field, it causes a very tight little end of the track. Laying it back down right now, Daniel Holloway and Cody Griffin going to go back at it more as they go. Blake Trawick staying in the control with the number 56 machine as the number 94. Troy Radford works his way on the bottom half. Caution is out though. There's problems down there. Eric Black top poster. Oh! Involved in the wreck there, and the 5 Centel Pado also clipped in there, but a huge hit there, unfortunately. I believe mainly focused on the 6, the 61, and I believe also the 31 there as I came around that corner. And that's one thing I think the drivers weren't really expecting nor wanted to see was a bundle up field again. But let's take a look at the replay. Chantal Powell lost control in the 5 camp there. You see she gets slammed. Oh my, she didn't get just slammed. She got thrown into the air. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh my goodness. I mean, the fact that the safety equipment came into play and was used in a proper spot there was extremely eccentric to what was going on down there. Another look at it. Looks like Chantel got a little too close to the apron. Trying to keep speed up. Rear end slides out. And unlike earlier with Chase Wright, she didn't have time to save it. The field bundled up there and bunched in. Derek Paulson or Len McNeese, I can't really tell on that one. Got hit up. That was Derek Paulson for the clarification. And yeah, that was just a bad ordeal, fortunately, there. We'll take a look at DJ Mitchell's onboard camera as he came right at him. Try to avoid it. There was just no avoiding it. Well, after that violent wreck there, drivers are going to go into pit road, get some much needed fuel and reserves. And race fans, when we come back, these guys have been fighting hard for positions, but now they're going to get bunched up again. Can Cody Griffin and Daniel Holloway defend off the pack, or will somebody find a way back in it? Stay tuned with us. Tonight's race here at Chicagoland Speedway has been brought to you in part by our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing. When you guys need the best custom design t-shirts done your way, your style, only one brand and name has been able to stand the test of time, and that is with Fort Worth Screen Printing. Be sure to visit them up at fortworthscreenprinting.com to get yourself some custom designed t-shirts made your way. Also, a big thank you to John T. Garrett of his Twitch channel. Be sure to visit him up on Twitch at John T. Garrett to see all his racing world and virtual world in one place. And by Lightning Wrapz, with the most affordable designs made at your leisure, Lightning Wrapz is always looking to bring the best designs to your livery. So our third caution of the day here. In my opinion, probably would have been our fourth had Tim Williams and DJ Mitchell also been called for that that hit that I suffered off of turn number 2 earlier on, but nevertheless there the field going to get crammed back up and really put back into place. A lot of guys right now knowing they are in a very, very tough spot here. Double filed up back to the restart zone. Green flag back on out. Let's send them their way again, boys. Coming right around, launching through the corners here. Back in, Cody Griffin, who's your race leader. Lee Norton, the 85, though. He left nothing on the table there. He goes the Shanes ahead to the second spot as the field works their way around Todd Poston. Gonna go one-on-one here with Eric Blount, the number 6, after that little skirmish they got trapped in earlier on that last caution there due to the 5 getting loose off of corner number 1. Kind of pinpointing the shots down, really focusing in on their targets here. Jace Rife also much in the same vein, trying to stay out of trouble and in control. Remember, he suffered a similar fate that the 5 did, but he was able to actually save the car before things could get really out of hand. Same couldn't quite say for the 5, but nevertheless here as they work their way off, back off turn number 4, Todd Poston. He's looking to try to post it through the corner here, trying to get some speed in the rounds. And he's carrying the momentum well. The downside though is Poston is not able to get a clear advantage or spot ahead of the field, which is in turn struggling to suffer through the corners and really kind of hang into the distance. Derek Paulson, the reigning defending season champion right now. The MF Racing Designs camp has not had a good day, to put it nicely. He had a good lead earlier, but then he got thrown the way of the distance and the way of the field, and since then he's been desperately just trying to get something figured out outside of that cockpit. Lining them back down on the ends here. They are still in a deadlock spot. Every driver themselves just hoping for the best and hoping to stay out of trouble. Looks like Cody Griffin might be starting to really put into top form and tip-top shape what he wants to do. The further you go, the longer it becomes to hang on and keep the control of the speed. And again, the momentum really is going to be at a full fever pitch and a full blast, because the fact they kind of have to here just to make sure they keep the cars relatively close to the other here. Koch flies out here. More problems down on the track. Lee Norton with problems down there. We're trying to get a camera on him right now, see what went wrong with the 85. But there is some serious damage up on that 85 camp. Take a look at the PT Mr. replay. They were trying to hurry up and get back at it as quick as they could here. Let's look at this again. Got kind of clipped over there with the 6 American Black. Oh my! Almost goes for a complete wall ride there. Kind of a 180, if you will, turn-wise on the scope and on the level. Looks like there's some other drivers trying to avoid the trouble. We'll kind of take it to our blimp cam here just to try to get us a better field-wide view of this one. Here's the wreck that ensued. Lee Norton gets clipped by Derek Paulson. Everybody else trying to avoid it. Looks like everyone else that was kind of in that mess there just went right down to the grass or out of the way just to try to stay out of trouble. And yet again, we're about halfway done with this race here, and again, it just seems like the more we go, the harder it becomes. The stints on these tires are definitely tearing these guys up a bit. I think above all else, really, too, that kind of strategizes these things out, really kind of gives them more of a troublesome slate. Collision course now up ahead. Gordon Larson Jr. did not go into pit road, so he'll be the one that stays out the latest here. Currently within lap 36, so he's going to be about 10 laps short if they have to go to another caution here for the fuel mileage. He's going to need to be careful about that here as they return it to the Fort Worth Screen Printing restart zone. Field back underway. They get out to the turn. Oh, the leader's wrecking right out of turn 2. We've got a pileup. Look out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Tim Williams down there wrecked out completely. Gordon Larson Jr. It is by some godforsaken miracle that double O is not as damaged as it could have been. Cody Griffin gets right underneath him down at a turn number 2, and it completely spiral ends this entire field around. Griffin, not a happy camper. My goodness, race fans, let's look at this one again here. Where did this all go wrong, I wonder? Another look at it here. They came right down through turn number 2. Everything looked good here. Looks like, I think Griffin might have right hooked him a little bit. Larson gets in the wall. Blount gets trapped. And there's nowhere to go at that point. The 5 gets slammed in there. Tim Williams in the grass. He's troubled out. Griffin just completely narrowed down and couldn't get anything going again. Stays in the throttle, trying to keep position and track layout. I mean, there's one thing that he's good at. It's definitely holding that line in when he has to, but definitely not what he was expecting in terms of what was going to go down then. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I mean, the pursuit to win is extremely incredible. And with 2 faster pairs, some of these drivers are really going to have to use them up here. Coming out of pit road here. A lot of guys and gals are getting in and out quickly here. That was definitely not what they wanted to see. Oh my gosh. It's crazy to just take how things can just turn sideways in just a matter of seconds. A matter of seconds. And now everybody gonna have to learn from that mistake here. Here we go once again, race fans. 5th caution of the day. And I don't know how much more these drivers really are thinking at this point other than just hoping and praying that it just does not go too crazy here. Laying them back down around off the front straightaway yet again. Roaring back to life. leading him back down. 3 wide for the pursuit. Mitzel, Coe, Radford. They're all in it for this one. Troy Radford digging in deep on the right side. Mitzel slinging it down the inside as well with Chase Wright from the 54 holding on. No one is safe. We've learned that before. I'm surprised they went 3 deep in for the race lead, but they certainly held it well. Troy Radford, though, he's going to become your new leader. The OSO machine is right now looking to try to finish out what he has left off. Coming down through course lane, DJ Mitzel backs it at the 54. Chase Wright getting doored. He got doored, but he hangs on. Pod Poston in the middle, trying to get out of that mess. They're almost 4 deep in. Holloway trying to avoid him. Jeff Clifton now kind of lifted it in there as well. He sticks it on the bottom lane. Lee Norton backing out of that. He wants nothing to do with them. He will on board with the 85. They are 3 launched in, 3 deep, into the paces, into the controls, looking for the lead. DJ Mitchell trying to hang it in there, and now there's sparks flying on the outside walls of turn 3 and 4. The 85 slamming the outside wall, retaining in. Does keep it at least in one piece for now. 57 of 100 laps now in the books. Mitzel on the bottom. Clifton, can he save it? He does. Get spun around though, and they loses all that ground and time. Anything Clifton had to really gain up on these drivers just got thrown to the wall, just got thrown to the hounds and back behind him. He has got a huge slew of drivers trying to make their way back into this. Glenn McNeese, Derek Paulson, Gordon Larson Jr., Michael Pratt. They're all trying to hustle back. Pratt, though, gets taken for the ride, and there he goes. Down, spat out the 13 Douglas R. Johnson, trying to save it. He's going to get it cleared up, but caution's going to brew out. They're going to throw it. Stopping in front of Ray Radford there. Johnson gets the caution to come out here, unfortunately, off of turn number 1. Things getting wild there after that little pile up and angled out. See if you can see right here. Looks like Paulson drifts up slightly, catches the 77, gets into the 13. Here's the hit. He's lost control here. Slams the brakes, and Ray Radford munched right up ahead. Take a look at Derek Paulson again here and see where everything kind of took a bit of a turn here. There's a 77, gets kind of looks like Paulson came up a little. Pratt went down a little on our end at least, so it looks like kind of was just as we call it, the racing ordeals. For race fans, there is certainly still more racing to be had as they're going to come out of pit road this time on by. We'll get back with you here. Stay tuned for more. We are not done here in Chicagoland. Tonight's race here presented in part by our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing with the most custom designed t-shirts made your ways. Fort Worth Screen Printing is always looking out to give you the best designs and give you the best decals and machine printed up schemes from our custom design t-shirt line. Be sure to visit them up at fortworthscreenprinting.com. Also, a big thank you to John T. Garrett and the Twitch channel. Be sure to go support him on his Twitch stream at John T. Garrett. And by Lightning Wrapz with the most affordable designs made at your leisure. Lightning Wrapz is always looking to bring the best designs out for your livery. Sixth caution of the day. field. Double filed in again. Todd Poston, Daniel Holloway lined up in positions they're very well accustomed to and accounted for. This should be a classic as they reel him back down. Driver's already looking at trying to get a start out here, though. Green flag back out. We'll see how that favors for these guys. Some of them wanted to get out of line quickly. Chase right from the top 5. Cody Griffin, after getting the damage cleared up, it's fired back. The 5, Chantel Bottle, also coming up quickly with Lee Norton on the top side. She seems to have tried to get a bit of a break here after all the other bad breaks she's been suffering through this entire season, including this race especially. Guys just not catching any ants or any ounce of remorse for anyone here. They just want to go and drive these things into the ground as much as they can. Blake Treywick seems to be much the same. The 56 close on proximity with the number 31 of Todd Poston, while the 26 of Daniel Holloway still leads them off. We're 63 laps in out of the 100 laps so far. Crossover there. Well, a little bit of slide job action there, moving up into position. Holloway on the bottom. Cody Griffin up top. Battle for the lead. The Hershey Kisses 26 versus that 03 KC Dup of Cody Griffin. And this 03 has on the back of that bumper saying drive. Well, guess what? He did that. He has driven through the field again. He's your new leader once more. Chase Rife now dealing with company behind. Top 5 now for the 5. Blake Treywick falling back just a little bit. Got kind of grounded up into that field there as the cow schemed up 56. Trying to move his way through. Speaking of move, Steve Rada, that's not a place you want to move into. Problems for the 8 and another pile up. Oh my goodness. Once again, another driver suffering and succumbing to the corner there. Car gets loose on him and breaks free once more. And this 8, yet again, just can't get out of the way. Jeff Clifton out of the race as well. The motor is destroyed and he is done, he's saying. DJ Mitchell shot straight up there in turn 1. Rada came in too hot. Turn 1 and 2. Clifton gets clipped. Blount gets hit. Paulson gets in there. I mean, there really isn't much else to say there. It's just pretty much what we've seen already. And it's just, again, you can't really get around it all that much. Blount got clipped. You can see as soon as the rear end smacked there, he had nowhere to go. That thing was going for a ride. Eric Paulson cannot be a happy camper right now. Neither can the 8 of Steve Rada. Anybody really in that matter for that wreck. And another round of pit stops is being made here. Yeah, coming out of pit road, Tim Lee will be the new leader here as he stays out. Daniel Holloway coming out first, Todd Poston second. Chase Wright, Blake Treywick, Chantel Bottle, DJ Mitchell, Tim Williams, Gordon Larson Jr. and Lee Norton rounding out the top 10, exiting out of pit road. Some guys in the back, like Lynn McNeese here, still struggling with the damage on the right sides of their cars, or their left rears, or anywhere where really they've been caught up in damage points here. There has really not been a single, I don't think there was a single car today that has not been anywhere near or involved with a wreck. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Lead them right off down the distance here on the front straightaway. Here we go. Once again, race fans, green flag back on out. Let's see what happens. Tim Lee right now trying to patrol and really pace out the strategies. We're going to kind of lean back down off the back straightaway here. Everybody in deep, desperate control of this race. Lining up though, there's problems for the 45-10 Williams, but there's even more trouble. Again, another car upside down. Michael Pratt is in the air upside down as the 292 Campbell wrecked hard there on the back half. Paulson yet again involved in another collision course here. And the defending champion, I think, has lost it. And I don't mean this race. I think mentally, I think he's done. It's not time to do a burnout yet, buddy. Producers, maybe it might be a good time to cut away. Let's take a look at the replay. Paulson is now on pit roads. He's done. I think he's honestly done for the night. So let's just leave it at that. Paulson gets right up there at the 292. Michael Lee Campbell gets slammed in there and gets jammed in by Len McNeese. And then a huge wreck ensuing. The 13 got slammed up there, unfortunately, and nowhere to really go. See here again, Campbell comes down slightly. Looks like Paulson drove up too, and oh man, I don't know how the heck that 97 didn't land on his roof. It is the luck of racing and the miracle that it is that 77 is still in one piece. But he is at least A-okay to continue on. As this field right now, I think at this point, is just trying to figure out when is this going to be an A-okay race. Had a long stint. Had a bit of a drive off. And now this. Complete and utter mayhem. Can this field control the nerves? Can they get themselves to stay out of trouble at this point? This isn't a matter of trying to race it out. This is a matter of actually just trying to stay out of trouble. These guys well aware of that, and they know they cannot get these cars to go that far into a distance of that run. They may have 2 fast repairs, but 100 laps in a super late model is no easy task, especially now when it's a big mile track like this one. Back to the green flag, we wave. Can they get this race in a long run stint? At this point now, fuel mileage is extremely crucial to these drivers, as this could either make or break their race if it comes to it. If another caution comes out, though, they will have enough to finish the race out in terms of the distance and in terms of the scope of what they're trying to do. That's all on them at this point, though. Gordon Larson Jr. earlier on was up in that top half in the bracketed up position, but now he's currently trapped between a bit of a fight and a survival mode instinct. Trying to hang on and trying to lay it loose. Tim Williams close to the 94, backs off of Radford's corner though. Saw where he was at, knew what was going on, and really kind of dictated the control and the speed of it. The other drivers right now also kind of scrundled up and kind of reached into the field here. So much on the line here and so much going down. Daniel Holloway trying to also control his own destiny. Todd Poston, Chase Wright leading in the pack for the field. Fuel mileage is extremely crucial. The way this is looking, we have yet to see any problems, and the drivers seem to be spreading out just enough. 5 Chantel throttle the paddle right now, looking to maybe make a run for it. She's trying to show the boys they can't push her around that much anymore. Not unless they want to get fought back by the lone lady of the field. Driving it down in deep, Chase Wright and Holloway right now seemingly going back and forth looking for position. Pottle driving the wheels off of the 54 though, trying to push them in position. Holloway though trapped in a very tight predicament. Todd Poston drifted up there as well. As Steve Rada has got a bit of a problem down there. Oh, and a serious slam and a hit there from the 47 of Ray Radford. Rada. Dave may have just came to a swift and violent end there with Ray Radford. A huge wreck and sewing on the track. As the field has to watch on as the 8 and the 47 collide there on the corner. Pit stops will definitely be made here for this final leg up, but what happened here? Corey Coe drifts up slightly, catches the 8. You can see the 13. Douglas R. Johnson trying to avoid it. Rada gets strapped upside down. He only went upside down, then he flipped. Then Radford. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Tire right side of that car just caved in completely. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. One more look at it here. Now the wreck had happened up ahead. Radford realizing he didn't even know where the 8 was and then just slammed right into him. Radford probably didn't even know what was going on until it was kind of too little too late. These pit stops are going to be extremely crucial here. Looks like Gordon Larson Jr. going to try to weasel his way around here and try to get as much fuel mileage as he can out of that car. Sorry for technical difficulty screen. We're trying to get the stream to kind of clear it back up a bit. Those that went in know they have the fuel to win this one out. Those that stayed out are going to be pushing a lot of boundaries here, but they know they are so close. They're hoping for a break and hoping for a golden opportunity to strike it big here. My ultimate question is, how do you fare when the drivers are out to kind of take you down and out to try to get you in the corners more often than not? This could get interesting. This could be a bit of a hassle and a bit of a fight out for these guys. They know it too. With 18 laps left on the track, something's got to give. Off the distance and through the front straightaway, the Fort Worth screen printing restart zone. We line them back down. When we get to the final 10 laps, we'll throw the top 5 up on your screen. Field trying to work their way through. Oh no, there's trouble again. Yellow out. Caution, back on out. This one's on the 5% bottle here. I'm not sure if there was contact made on her. She just spun out there in turn number 1 and 2. Taking a look at the replay. $13 goes up. Oh. Only, that doesn't look like any damage, at least on the 5, but yeah, you can tell she was not a happy camper. That engine roar kind of tells you all you need to know. I'm not sure if the 13 of Johnson just miscalculated the corner or what went wrong there. We're going to go on board with them. I don't know, you guys be the judge there. It's hard to say because, again, a lot of these drivers are talking about how loose this car is and because of how loose this track is. But it's hard to really kind of get a good idea of it. drivers now consumed with the speed and the endurance level at a high peak and a high torque here. Everyone just desperately trying to get through this one and finish out on the top spot or get in the top brackets. Aims and positions changing throughout, as some of them try desperately to win this one at the end of the race. Can we get this one up to par and finish out strong? We're about to find out. Green's back out. And again, when the racing is good, the racing is absolutely fantastic. It's just the problem is I think some drivers just can't get away from one another and can't leave things alone. That's what the biggest problem is, in my opinion. Todd Wilson able to move his way ahead of Lee Norton in 85. DJ Mitchell already coming back into the pack, and despite the fact he's been upside down more times than I care to count tonight, the 77 of Michael Pratt somehow, some way, will not go down. Just has no quit, no give to his name, trying to hang on. Laying back around, Lenny McNeese though with troubles. The 84 has come to a dead stop on the back straightaway. Problems down there for him. Tim Williams, the 485 right now, trying, and I mean desperately trying to finally pull one off today. He hasn't been to victory lane since last season. He is desperately on a move and on a charge, trying to hold on. 3 deep, throwing it in. Jace Wright for the 54, also going in big time here. Every driver for themselves in terms of the chances. Final 10 laps to go the next time by. We'll throw the top 5 on your screen here, as the rest of the field currently tries to pinpoint the shot, hit the marks. 3 wide off, down the back stretch, leading to turn number 3. Oh, right goes Wall right up to the top. He gets the 5% up bottle. We've got another collision and another wreck. Oh my goodness, are you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, folks. Well, watch it again. Rife may have thought he was kind of clipped up a little bit more than he really was, but he had some room. Comes down though, collects the 5. Chantal Panel nowhere to go. Damaged up too badly and severely. Eric Blount clipped in there as well. And some of these drivers really have used their entire fast repairs up this entire day. I think the 5 is one of them. I think she might be out. She's currently looking to get the damage cleared up on that 5 right now, but I think it's going to be too little too late. I think her day is done and over with. So many drivers have made their way back up to the front, battling for the top spot or battling for the top 5. Only to then, just as soon as a wreck comes out, have to get shifted back into the pack and then transferred out of there. And that is the end of Steven Rada, Chantal Panel, Mike Lee Campbell, Derek Paulson, and Jeff Clifton. They're done for the day. Len McNeese can stay on out and fight for another chance, trying to live to see another day here. I think these guys right now trying to hold on, and Chantal Panel saying we are done in the comments section here. Tough break there for the 5. field right now currently. Just trying to figure out where to go from here at this point. I think at this point as well, just trying to just see if they could even survive this end of the race. And no one is safe from the mayhem. And I honestly going into this race, I thought Chicagoland was going to be one of the better of the mile and a half we go to, because again, you look back at its history, and every time we've came here, usually, for most of the times, I'd say probably like 97, 96% of the time we've been here throughout our time broadcasting, we've always had some great racing and some great moments mixed in. From the days of the NASCAR Heat to the days here in iRacing with the trucks, Xfinity, the Cup Series. Even ARCA, when they raced here, it was always something special, something great, something pretty cool to see, and some extremely close finishes to go along with it. But I'm presuming at this point, I don't know if it really is just the car or if it's a bit of the driver mentality that these guys are possessing right now. But in my opinion, they've got to start clearing something out or really figuring it out quicker than they know it. They cannot keep going like this. Even Coffee Man saying it flat out as is. High pacing. Coffee Man, thanks for tuning in late here, buddy. These guys have got a lot to figure out, a lot to do this next week, I'm betting. But right now, they just need to get through this week. Race on the line. Some drivers still trying to find a way to get into victory lane, trying to find a way to get their first of the season. Who is going to walk out on top? Out of the gate, Poston. Trying to get a second one. He gets it right up there with Daniel Holloway. DJ Mitchell has already won before. He's looking to do it again, but Tim Williams is extremely hot on his trail. Coffee Man, I'm not saying another thing on that one. You can guess it, but I'm not saying nothing. Williams up top. Remember earlier on they said the outside line was the faster of the lines. But did he tear the right front up too much to get that run up there? Todd Poston is desperately, and I mean desperately, trying to push his limit on that 26 of Daniel Holloway. And he's got the draft. He's got the seam lined up. Everybody closing in. The drafts have come closer together. The packs are in full pursuit and full gear. And Tim Williams, he goes up top. He's wall riding up in the 45, and the 45 is all but done. Now time to get back in this. Mitchell and Griffin going at it here. Battle for third. Poston and Holloway desperately trying to intervene. No limit and no regard for resurgence here. Just trying to hold on for what's left of these cars. Poston looking to get around the 26, but Holloway continues to defend. Holloway's been in victory lane already. He wants to do it again. So does Poston. All four drivers this season and previous seasons have been into victory lane at least once. Griffin nearly looked like a season championship title holder last season until things went late off that he wanted to, allowing Derek Paulson to win it out. As they're going to bring it back down the back straightaway. We're going in 3 laps to go. Poston and Holloway still desperately trying to hit this one home and trying to keep it going. Poston nearly got him on the inside. We're 2 to go. Griffin looking to shoot it through the corner. Shoots the barrel straight to the inside of the 31. He's got Poston. Now can he get Holloway? Holloway's throwing him to the white line. Griffin's not having it. He's going to the inside, going for broke. He couldn't make the pass. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to lead him off here to the white flag lap. Mitchell, though, maybe thinking otherwise. We've got 7 cars that can win this one out. Who is it going to be? Who can take this one home? They're going to get a little bit clipped up. Posting gets set to the outhouse. He's going to the shadow realm. Holloway's all alone. Blake Trawick trying to get a good drive off, but gets trapped in between with DJ Mitchell moving his way on the bottom. Leading him back down. Holloway's left all alone. And it's going to be Daniel Holloway leading it to victory lane. Griffin gets into it. Troy Radford. As Radford gets spun out of the front straightaway. Oh my goodness. Daniel Holloway, the number 26, brings it back to victory lane, and one of the first drivers this season to be able to do it twice in one go. He had a lot left on the line. He had a lot to throw at it. And now that I think about it, this might actually be Holloway's first. Currently looking to confirm that if I can. As he celebrates in the best way possible. No, this actually was his second. He did win at Kansas 2 weeks ago. So he will finally kind of break this long trend, this kind of long road of being separated out from the entire field. His first win back from Kansas. And another Midwest win, to say the least. Definitely got to be pleasing to the driver of the number 26. We take a look at our race results now, presented by Lightning Wrapz. This really was just a kamikaze mission for some, and others it was really just a survival mission. But Daniel Holloway able to finally hold this one out, take this one home. Blake Trawick goes in second. DJ Mitchell, another podium, goes third out of the bunch. Lee Norton goes fourth. Troy Radford, so close yet again to returning to victory lane, but will take fifth. Cody Griffin, same for him, but fought hard and fought well. Hangs on for sixth. Corey Coe goes seventh. Tim Lee will go eighth. Ninth to Michael Pratt. 10th to Douglas R. Johnson to round out the top 10 in this one here. So with that now, it is time to listen in to your top 3 drivers here. As he posts up the number, he posts up the finish. DJ Mitchell will take this one home for a third place finish here. And DJ, congratulations on another podium, sir, and a great ending to your day. Things got extremely wild there from point A to point B, but there's one thing that stood above the top, was you were at least able to kind of avoid trouble there late into the race.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble at the beginning. Ended up going through both my fast repairs real quick there, and so I had to be a little careful through the middle to the end of the race. That last lap and a half, 2 laps, that was fun, man. I think some guys behind us had a little bit of tires. I would guess the 03 and 56 might have had a little better tires, but or maybe they're just real fast. But it was fun. It was fun, real close racing. Really for second, Holloway kind of pulled away at the end there.
Yeah, close racing, a lot of hard charge, and some drivers really bringing it to the limits in their tables here. But for you and this crew, I really got to kind of ask you, I mean, really, was there anything you felt like could have been done differently for you and the team to probably make a run for it for the lead? Or do you think really this was the best you're going to get out of what was going on?
You know, I really didn't want to let the O3 underneath me with a few laps earlier. I was gonna try to stay down there, and he just kind of had too much power there. And then I got back under him. I was hoping because I needed to. I didn't get the greatest start. I needed to kind of charge a little bit to get up to Todd and Holloway, and with the O3 kind of getting under me there, it kind of ruined it. So I would have had to keep him behind me to try to get up there and get under Todd and Holloway. But once that happened, I really was racing for second, third.
Well, you raced for second and third, but still popped away with the podium to end out the day. That will certainly help in the points department and for the moralities for you and this team. Who do you want to thank here today for this third place finish?
I just want to thank everybody, all the racers from Pitstall. Tim's just continues to put together a great series, and then thanks to you guys for broadcasting. It's awesome.
Absolutely, DJ. Congratulations on our third place finish here. Great to see you back out here putting on a fight in a show.
10-4, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Missler going to come away today as the third place finisher out of the bunch. Blake Trawick now joins us here as your second place finisher today. Here, Blake, congratulations on that second place end, but to say the least here, early on it looked like you were going to get trapped in that mid-back and in that messes down there. What made you get through this field and fight back for that second spot?
Whew, we kind of threw a Hail Mary at it there, and I decided to come down, and we were already in the back of the pack there to take 2 tires and see if we could actually get back through the field with them. And tire fall off wasn't that bad, but those 2 tires made a slight big difference at the end there.
Yeah, definitely made a big difference and a bit of a chance at really retaining and going for broke. With the way things were kind of playing out, though, do you think that this car would have had any chance had it been a longer green flag run there late into this one?
I believe we would have had a better chance if it was a longer green flag run. I'm not sure if my speed would have been on par with some of these guys, but I think for the tires, it would have been better for a longer run, for sure.
Definitely there with Trawick, though. At the end of the day, you're still going to come away as second place finisher today. So I got to ask you, my friend, who do you want to thank you for this one?
I got to do a shout out to Splash and Go Paints for the paint scheme. They always do amazing work on the cars. And I also want to say sorry to the 47. We made contact there a couple laps ago. I thought it was much lower. I turned him there. That's 100% on me. I wanted to apologize for that.
Well, I think he'll definitely kind of take a consideration on the apology, but nevertheless, take consideration. You are a second place finisher today in your debut race, Trawick. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Blake Trawick, ladies and gentlemen, going to come away at the ends meet and the end extent for second, but the man who stands above all else in the top of this one, he survives the mission at hand. Daniel Holloway is going to be only the first driver to take home 2 wins in one season this season, and Daniel, congratulations on that. And we talk about it constantly, we talk about it a lot, and how difficult it is just to get 1 win in this season, but to get a second one, what does that really mean for you and this team now, knowing that you're only one driver to do it so far?
Amazing, I guess. Amazed. I don't know. And this is my, I don't know, second or third race, and it's 2 in a row. Just keeping the car clean and be there at the right time. And I wish it kept going green. Those cautions were just killers, and especially for the fans watching, pacing around. But the green flag is where it was really excited, and I made the right call on that second to the last pits to top off fuel. I still had 1 set of tires. Still, tires wasn't as bad as a fall off than as the new ones, and it felt like the car was better on the older tires. And once you're up in the lead, it feels like you're just pacing, but that draft on these cars, you just can't really pull away. So it makes it very interesting, and especially that 3-4 laps to go, that was really really interesting. That's for sure.
It certainly was indeed. I know you had a lot of guys trying to take you down there in the back half and then right behind you as well. Were you kind of worried that any of them were going to possibly come up and give you an old bump and run to really take that one home from you?
Was ready, especially with 03 when he was below that white line and right there in my corner panel, but I was kind of bracing for a tap type thing to see if I was going to get me loose, but ended up didn't have to, and I was still in my if you want to call it groove, as far as that line I was running. And I think when he came up and got loose or something like that, or lost that momentum because he was so low, and once that happened, I think I was pretty safe to set sail there for the end.
For sure there. Well, hey, nevertheless, though, still going to come away today with a solid first place today, and the only driver to do it so far with 2 wins in the season. Who do you want to thank for all that?
I want to thank Tim putting his league pit stall. You up in the booth, PTM Racing. Haha. Caught on quick. And everybody out there that's watching, and just want to shout out to friends and family, and thanks for the fans who was all watching, and DJ and Todd and Lynn. I thought we were going to do another 1, 2, 3 there with Todd and DJ, but, things happen, and man, I just want to say this Hershey Kisses car, boy, she was flying tonight.
She was flying, and she's kissing some pavement at the end of this race here. Daniel, congratulations, man, on another race win.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Daniel Holloway, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner to close out tonight. And that all will do it for here. Us as Chicagoland Speedway race fans, we thank and appreciate every single one of you for coming on board. A big thank you again to Fort Worth Screen Printing and Lightning Wrapz for their support this season. And as always, to you fans out there, thanks so much for tuning on in. Appreciate you guys for the support, and we hope to see you next time when that green flag flies here on the show.